and welcome back to Prepared for Life, Cooking with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Jackley Jensen, and I'm the Development Director for the Winnebago Council Boy Scouts of America. Today I'd like to introduce you to one of my friends, Leo the Avocado. He's from Mexico, and today we're going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo means the 5th of May in Spanish. On the 5th of May in 1862, the little tiny Mexican army defeated the large French Empire in the Battle of Puebla when the French were trying to take over their city. In the US, we began to celebrate this holiday in 1863 in California the very next year. It wasn't until the 1980s when the tradition of celebrating Cinco de Mayo spread across the entire nation. On today's episode, we're going to be cooking with a true superfood, the avocado. The avocado is a fruit and it has a whole ton of benefits, health benefits for you. It's a healthy fat which raises good cholesterol and lowers bad cholesterol. It has vitamins E and K which help your brain. It helps reduce stress and improve sleep. And there is more potassium in an avocado than a banana, which most people do not get enough potassium in their diets. And there's so many more health benefits in this tiny little fruit that will benefit you as a person. Today, we'll be celebrating Cinco de Mayo and using the avocado in one of my favorite ways, guacamole. First, let's review the kitchen's top 5 before we start cooking. Have I asked permission? Do I have a plan? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Am I being safe? And have I cleaned up after myself? Before we get started cooking today, let's learn a little bit about some knives. In the kitchen, you have multiple knives to choose to work with. First, you have your chef knife, which should be your go-to knife for all your large chopping opportunities. You have a paring knife that's going to help you with smaller, detailed work. And you have a serrated bread knife in order to cut bread and tomatoes. When working with knives, it's important that you're working with a very sharp knife. Sharp knives are safer than dull knives. So today I have 2 options for you. You can either do a manual knife sharpener or I prefer an electric sharpener. And what you want to do is there's 2 places to run your knife through on this. And so you just turn it on, and this is going to be loud, so I'm not going to talk during it, but you can watch me and you put your knife through like this, and then the second, and then the third, and then the fourth, and it'll be very sharp by the time you get finished. A couple of items on knife care. First, you want to wash these by hand. You never want to stick them in the dishwasher. It's important that when you do wash these by hand, you're very careful about how you go about it. The way I like to do it is to put the blade away from you, and then take your soapy washcloth and go like this. Also, make sure that you wash your knives regularly. And always make sure you never drag your knife across the cutting board to pick up ingredients. Rather, use the back of your knife, or better yet, use a bench scraper. Today, I'm going to show you how to chop, mince, and dice your way to a great snack, guacamole. Let's cook. We're going to start out with our avocado. A couple things to look for with your avocado is you want to make sure that they're a little bit more brown, depending on which type of avocado you're using. You don't want to necessarily squish it because that might give it bruises. Rather, the way I like to pick out avocados is to take off this stem part that grows off the tree and take that off and look underneath. And if the flesh underneath there is green, it means that you're good to go and your avocado is right. Now it's time for us to pit our avocado. It's very important to ask an adult's permission while you're pitting an avocado because it's very dangerous because the pit is very slippery. It's important to remember that the outside of an avocado is not edible. So in order to get the fruit, we must get inside and get it out. Here's how to do it. So you're gonna take your knife and you're gonna hold your avocado down, and it's important to remember there's a big old pit right inside there. So what you're gonna do is slice into the avocado and you're going to rotate your knife around that. Let's try it out. Once you have made your cut, you're going to twist off the top, and inside you will see the pit. Although you can use your knife to remove the pit, the safer way to do this is actually to use a spoon and just pop it out. There we go. A little cooking tip for you guys. I love to have a garbage bowl, which is a bowl lined with some sort of sack, whether that be a produce sack or a grocery bag or something like that. It allows you to put all of your garbage or your compost in there. And when you're finished, you can just pull it out. Your bowl is still clean and you can get rid of the waste. All right, so now let's talk about how to extract our fruit from our peel and get it into our bowl for guacamole. I'm gonna have you guys grab a butter knife, and basically what you wanna do is you just wanna slice inside of the skin. And what I like to do to make mashing it, because it's all gonna have to come into a mash later, easier, is to go ahead and dice it as well. So it's gonna look like that. And then you're gonna take your spoon that you used to get your pit out with, and you're going to scoop it out into the bowl. And then you have your skin left and you just throw it in your garbage bowl. In addition to your avocado, you're gonna need a couple more ingredients in order to finish your guacamole. So first we have a lime, we have a jalapeno, this is optional, depending on how spicy you like things. We have garlic, I like to add a ton because I love garlic. You can limit or add however much you like. We have cilantro, which sort of looks like parsley, but the leaves on it have a little bit more of a jagged edge than parsley does. And we have a red onion. Some people don't like cilantro, so if you don't like that, you don't have to include it either. Let's start out with our lime. I like to roll it on the cutting board to release the juices. And the reason we're adding our lime next is because it's going to, when the avocado is in the air, it oxidizes and it makes it turn brown. So a little bit of citrus is going to help it not do that. So you just slice your lime in half and give it a little squeeze of your avocado. Next, let's talk garlic. I have a lot of garlic love, so I like to put a lot in mine. I'm gonna show you guys how to smash garlic because it's very important for us to do that to help you peel the garlic a whole lot easier. So there's a couple of safety things that we need to cover. You need to have your blade away from you. You need to set the back part one clove at a time on the garlic, and then you just use your heel to smash your knife on the garlic, and then it makes it tons easier to peel. So you just stick your garlic in this part, and then you squeeze it out just like that. And I like to take the back of a knife, and you can even use a butter knife for that, and scrape it off in there. I did promise you all that we were going to mince something though, so I like to take the little part of the head of the garlic off, and then you just run your knife lengthwise through the garlic, and you keep your fingers curled back like this so you don't run your knife in your fingers. And then you just go the opposite direction, and keeping your hand on top of the knife is going to help you rock it through the garlic to create a mince. It's very important to remember when you're working with jalapenos and any other sort of very hot pepper that you either wear rubber gloves or you wash your hands very thoroughly afterwards, or even I've heard that you can touch stainless steel or metal afterwards in order to get the capsaicin, which is the spicy part of the pepper, off of your hands. I've been working with jalapenos many times when I've forgotten to wash my hands very thoroughly, and I've stuck them into my eyeballs to take my contacts out and put them in the next morning, and I have jalapeno juice in my eyeballs. Not very fun. All right, I promised you guys that we would learn how to dice today, so we are going to dice our jalapeno. First, you're going to make it into long, small cuts like so, and then you just turn those and you cut the opposite direction in order to create a dice. And as always, remember to keep your fingers out of the way and your fingers tucked under so you don't accidentally cut yourself. Now let's talk how to mince our onion. It's very important that you make sure that you cut through your root, which is the part with the little bit of hair looking stuff on it, to your tip. And then we'll talk more as we go from there. Since we don't need the whole onion for this particular recipe, I'm gonna show you how to chop it up, and then we'll only use what we need. So you have your halved onion. You're gonna slice off the tip of it, keeping that root intact. This is where everything comes from, and so it's important to keep all the layers together with that root. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is peel off the outer layers of onion that don't look quite great. So I'm gonna take off the top, and it looks like the second one isn't that great either, so we'll get a little bit farther down in there. From there, this is for an older scout to do because it's a little bit more tricky as far as knife work goes. You gotta make sure you have a very sharp knife and are very careful. So you're gonna make a couple of cuts into your onion back towards that root. And then you're going to slice it like this. Very careful with your thumbs here. And then you'll continue to chop, and always remember, tuck your fingers under. And here's your chop. Now that we have our ingredients prepped and ready to go, we're gonna finally get to putting our guacamole all together. So there's a couple different ways what you can do with your avocado. You can use a fork to mash it, or you can use a potato masher. I prefer this, but it sort of depends on the bowl you're working with. So, some people like chunky guacamole, other people prefer it to be a little bit more mashed up. I like mine sort of in between, where I can get some chunks of avocado because I love avocado. You're gonna add your garlic, your jalapeno, your onion, and I've already chopped up cilantro. I'm gonna add a little bit more lime juice, as well as salt and pepper. Avocados don't have much flavor. They need salt to bring out a lot of their flavor, so I add sort of a lot of salt. It'll help it taste better in the end. And then I really like the pepper grinder as well. Once you have all of that in there, all you gotta do is stir everything up, and ta-da, guacamole. We hope you have a fun Cinco de Mayo, and we hope that your families are staying safe and healthy, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Prepared for Life, Cooking with Whitney.